Hi there. Okay, we are to chapter 3, Stanley, of Redeeming Stanley, the book I'm reading right now. I made you a cake, Angela chirped through the screen door. It's devil's food. Devil's food, huh? Stan lounged against the door frame inside the latched screen, scratching his chest through his t-shirt. Yes, she could see dark chest hair smashed flat by the worn fabric. And was that a nipple? Silence fell. Well, get back, Shep, Stanley said to the black and white dog growling at Angela through the screen door. Stan heaved upright, nudged Shep back with his foot, flipped the latch with meaty fingers, and pushed the door open. Just can't resist devil's food. Thanks. He took the cake, stepped back inside, relatched the door, and disappeared, leaving Angela standing on his porch, mouth open. She blinked, snapped her mouth shut, and scurried back down the steps and up the street, fuming. That's it. I'm not going to do anything else for him. But by the time she got to her own front steps, she understood. Poor man, he's never had anyone care about him before. He doesn't know how to show what he feels. I just have to be patient. Let him see that I'll love him no matter what. He'll learn, just like the men in my Love That Sanctifies books learn. She curled up on her white sofa, opened her white leather, red letter edition, King James Version Bible, read the story of Ruth, then took a long hot bubble bath and did her nails. Later that afternoon, Stan cut into the cake and served a healthy slice to his neighbor, who sat at his kitchen table, elbows propped on the red marbled formica, a cigarette dangling from the battered holder. I'm telling you, bub, she said, she wants you bad. It's devil's food now, but you wait till she gets her hooks in. Then it'll be angel food all the way. Sure, babe, Stan sneered. What did she want with me? You're bad. She's good. It's kismet. Shut up. You want this piece of cake or don't you? Stan Bub slid the slice of cake across the table, then poured Babe a cup of black coffee. She balanced her cigarette on the edge of the chipped saucer, lifted her fork, and carved out a gigantic bite. She lifted it, opened greasy red lips, slid the loaded fork in, clamped her lips shut, pulled the fork back out, closed her eyes, chewed and sighed. She swallowed, opened her eyes, took a sip of coffee, swallowed again. This I'll give the little twit, she rasped. She can for damn sure make devil's food. Mark my words, though, it's just to lure you in. Girls like her eat men like you for breakfast. She licked the creamy frosting off her fork with a tongue-stained chocolate brown. I should be so lucky. Count your blessings, Babe snarled. Don't feed him that. Why not? Chocolate kills dogs. So what's your point? Stan asked, scraping a large piece of chocolate cake onto the floor by Shep's nose. Oh, yeah, I forgot. He hasn't, said Stan. Have you, boy? He reached down to rub the dog's ears. The dog jerked his head away and directed a glacial stare at Stan. Stan carved himself a massive slice and dropped it into the duct tape mended and dropped. Start over. Stan carved himself a massive slice and dropped into the duct tape mended red vinyl chair across from his neighbor, who could have used some duct tape herself. So will you do it or not? Hell no, she said. You got to do better than a slice of cake to get me to go down on a pathetic get like that. I got standards. Even if I make it worth your while? As in how? Say he waved his hand vaguely, fix you up a little. Hell, I don't need fixing up. I earned this face. She reached down between her sagging bosoms, fished out a battered pack of cigarettes, and shook out a fresh one. It bent in the middle. She straightened it and shoved it into her cigarette holder, but it bent again when she moved her hand. She straightened it again, and then when it bent again, she gave up. Give me a light, will ya? Stan absent-mindedly extended his finger. A curl of smoke rose from the bent cigarette. No offense, babe, but the years are showing. Man, you were really something. Look in the mirror lately? We're a pair. Long as you're Stan, I'm Babe, and I don't need fixing up. Why do you want this guy so bad anyhow? Don't really, but I got a position to maintain. Yeah. Don't give me that shit. You got no position any more than I do these days. You're Stan now. Nobody remembers us. Hell, they've forgotten I exist. You know better. His voice dropped, and for a second she saw them as they had been all those years ago, young and luscious and wild and mysterious, before they had bowed to the inevitable and got civilized and petty and evil, before they became Stan and Babe. The image flickered, and he was just Stan again, in his thin, grimy t-shirt, and the tattoo of her on his biceps, the way she used to be. Yeah, she rasped, I know better. I got a position to maintain too, but I'm old news. Even if I wanted to, which I don't, I'd never get this stuff. Find a different whore. Hell, use Angela. Like I said, she eats men like you for breakfast. She should be able to handle a twerp like that. They heard crisp, dainty taps outside the house again. Better get that, Babe drawled, grinning. Betcha $1 it's her. She took another gigantic bite of cake, stuck out her tongue, and lifted off the fork, front and back. Stan lumbered down the hall. The glass pane set into his front door framed Angela's face and shoulders. She looked scrubbed, sweet, and innocent. Babe was right. She was perfect. If he played it right, he used to be great at this. He ran his hand over his head and rumpled his hair, the motion so old and practiced he hardly thought about it, then pulled the door open. Yeah, he growled. I, she stopped, swallowed, then continued on bravely. Would you like to go to church with me? Church? His eyebrows rose. Here I thought I'd heard every line there was. I really want you to. She smiled sweetly up at him. How much? What would it take? Stan set the hook and reeled her in. And then, when she was gone, he went inside, and he and Babe held each other and laughed until they cried. Or maybe they just cried.